If you tuned in to yesterday's program, you'll recall that we highlighted a breaking news story on how State Farm, that's the insurance company, recently launched a program that would enlist hundreds of staff volunteers across the country to distribute LGBTQ plus themed books to teachers, community centers, and libraries. Now, these books were targeting children as young as 5, kindergartners. Now, State Farm's engagement in woke indoctrination came to light after an email was leaked to the group Consumers Research, whose executive director joined us yesterday. Well, hours after the show, State Farm's chief diversity officer, not quite sure why an insurance company needs a chief diversity officer, but anyway, they sent out an email to State Farm agents telling them that the program had been the subject of news and customer inquiries. So now they will, quote, no longer support that program. But that doesn't mean the end of this. Back with us to talk about this is Will Hild. He's the Executive Director of Consumers Research. Will, welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so the muddled response was almost, it sounded like to me they were trying to appease both sides, and they really said nothing other than, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're just going to find another way to do it.
Yeah, basically, the response was completely unsatisfactory. All they simply said was that they would not be trying to push public schools to take these books any longer. They didn't say that they would stop trying to get them into the hands of kindergartners, 5-year-olds plus, age 5 plus. They didn't, most notably, say that they were going to try to do any actual damage control around trying to get these books out of the places that they've been donated to get them out of the hands of 5-year-olds. And these are both things that I think any reasonable company would be doing. And so we're completely unsatisfied with their response. We don't think that this should be the end of where it goes. And we're not done. We're going to keep going after this company until they stop being a creepy neighbor.
What I saw in their statement that tells me that they really didn't get the message. They said, quote, we will continue to explore how we can support organizations that provide tools and resources that align with our commitment to diversity and inclusion. I invited the CEO to come on because I wanted him to explain what that means. What do you think it means?
Well, I think they talk about parents should be the people that are having these discussions with the kids. And then they talk about maybe arming those parents with these books. So they haven't even said that they will stop trying to get these transgender propaganda books in the hands of 5-year-olds. They haven't even committed to that. So it's just a completely unsatisfactory answer. As you said, the language is muddled. It's unclear what they even mean. They started out, it's important to note here that they actually started out by lying about what they had done. When news outlets, when we first broke the story, reached out to them for a comment, they said this didn't even happen. And when they were provided with photographic evidence that it did, that was when they put out this statement. So they are an untrustworthy company. They have lied about this. They have issued a muddled statement. I don't think any customer and certainly any parent should take them at their word on this. And they don't even, as you noted, fully explain what they even mean. And so we're going to keep going after this company until they do a few things which we can talk about.
Well, let's talk about that. What does State Farm, what do they need to do to correct this situation?
Well, I think before State Farm can even begin to say that they are not a creepy neighbor, they need to do 3 very basic things. First, they need to come clean. And that means they need to hire a credible external third party to audit every program that they have that targets children. Because if this is something that they're involved in, who knows, there might be other things that they have skeletons in their closet targeting children. So they need a full top to bottom audit by an external third party who's not trying to save anyone's job, doesn't have a dog in the fight, okay? Just to find out what they're up to. Second, they need to determine every single place where these books were donated, public library, community center, but most importantly, public or private schools where these books were placed on the shelves. Then third, they need to make they need to try and retrieve all of those materials. And they need to make this list public for parents so that parents can know whether their kids were possibly exposed to this material. And I think they need to go farther than that. I think they need to actively try to notify parents in the area where these books were donated so that parents are made aware of this and they can remedy the damage that State Farm has done. And if anytime before they do those 3 things, the idea that they give a lick about their customers, about America's parents, or most importantly, the safety of America's children, it's absurd. They clearly don't. And they are not a good neighbor. They are a creepy neighbor.
Well, again, Will, we appreciate you bringing this to our attention, to the attention of the nation, and we're going to continue to track this. So as this develops, we'll have you back on to find out more about it. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me on.
And folks,